Oilers, you got a great offense with Connor McDavid. So I have them sweeping them.
Yeah, well, I don't think you heard my point. The San Francisco Giants have 3 more in the 2010s than the Rangers have in their entire history. So, yeah.
It's hard to get back and to get back-to-back wins. And I don't see the Lightning doing it here, so I have them losing to the Hurricanes in 6.
We don't talk about the 2010s because the 2010s had the Astros. And if the Astros didn't happen, the Yankees would have won in 2017.
He was close to Frank Reich, and they want Frank Reich back, so that's what they got. It's their discount Frank Reich.
Kaprizov and the rest of this crew, Jordan Greenway, who doesn't get enough props. He definitely is somebody who needs to be mentioned more.
Hi, this is Julie Dobbs. You're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week, and we are recording the day of about an hour or two since it was announced that Bill Belichick is most likely being left off the Hall of Fame and will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, as is kind of been revealed. It doesn't get the final group doesn't get announced until I want to say it's February 5th. But there's been a lot of reporting about how Belichick did not get enough votes to enter the Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. And the argument is because of Spygate and kind of Deflategate and all those kind of.
Well, if Deflategate was a problem for him, then why wasn't he suspended with Brady? So I don't think that's a problem.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of been the twin cheating scandals during the it's ESPN did an article about it. Came up in the deliberations among voters, and then apparently Polian, former manager of the Bills and Colts, told some voters he believed Belichick should wait a year before induction as penance for Spygate. And then I don't really like the idea that even with all the scandals, which was 2, let's say you take away those 2 wins, basically, he still has 4. Well, he still has, because he has 6 Super Bowl rings as a head coach. He also has 2 as an assistant coach. Yeah. So that still leaves him with 6. And I think when you look at it and what he built, I think, and also the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah. He'd be a Hall of Fame head coach with just his last decade with the Patriots. And again, the Deflategate thing has been disproven 100 times. It's just the league, again, just harping on it for no reason. And then I don't get it. What were we going to say?
Well, and the NFL Hall of Fame is not as difficult as other Hall of Fames. I think baseball's the strictest one. But when you look at the NFL Hall of Fame, it's kind of, if you want to argue guys that were a huge part of their history, Belichick did that. He changed the league, kind of how he develops players and the way he attacked players, not only as a defensive coordinator when he won the Super Bowl, but as a head coach. I think you have to credit him for his development with Tom Brady and just being able to withstand the salary cap that is implemented to stop parity. And he avoided all that, and they were competitive for most of his career. So I think a lot of this kind of goes to show, because they're talking about Bill Polian and how a lot of some of the voters, it doesn't name the voters, but a lot of them do kind of have their own personal bias against Bill Belichick, and that's why he didn't get enough. Yeah, absolutely.
That should never be a consideration for who gets into the Hall of Fame, because it makes the Hall of Fame look, I don't know if weak is the right way to put it, but vindictive or however you want to say it, because that shouldn't be determined by how much you dislike somebody personally. If they don't have a crazy criminal record or have done stuff outside the league that is notable, I don't know why they would hold off for a year. I think it's childish in what it is, if that's the reason.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of it is that it should be done. Apparently, you can make arguments for it. That was part of the process with one of the voters that was petitioning Eli Manning. For did you make your case? But I do think you need to leave your personal feelings out of it. So when you look at Belichick's resume, should go automatically in and should be a unanimous vote.
Well, the problem is that you can't even do like a blind resume because okay, this guy's won 8 Super Bowls. Who do we think this is, for guys? But a blind resume is probably the best way to do it to, again, put your biases to the side. And I do think it makes the Hall of Fame, again, look weak or, again, childish if the most storied head coach in your history doesn't get in. Because I think Ryan Clark said this. I don't actually know if it was him or another guy, but I think it was Ryan Clark said that basically if he doesn't make it, then no coach should make it in their first year. Because it's not like a coach has a better resume. Even if you include the scandals that you mentioned, it's childish. I don't think that this is how the route that the league wants to go down.
Yeah, I agree. It's childish, and it definitely paints it in a bad part of the league and kind of puts it with MLB's Hall of Fame and kind of how there's a lot of bias. I think, wasn't Jeter not unanimous?
Yeah, because they didn't want him to be unanimous. But
yeah,
well, there's also Carlos Beltran, right, gets into the Hall of Fame this past year. He was surprising. the person who started the whole Astros trash can thing. He was the one to do it. And he gets in. But guys that use PEDs or a different form of cheating don't. And it's like, okay, where are we drawing the line? The Yankees posted about Carlos Beltran. All the comments were like, why are you posting him? Because, again, he cost the Yankees a World Series by cheating. And these are proven cheating methods and also methods that lead to directly winning a title. So I don't know. I think that you shouldn't set this precedent, is all I'm going to say. This is a precedent you don't want to set, and by setting it, it means that whoever's voting can just decide that they want to vote on anybody for any reason or vote against anybody for any reason because it's just what I'm feeling like.
Yeah, and it does, to me, it puts the voters at the front when the whole goal of it is to put the accomplishments of NFL coaches, NFL players, NFL owners at the front. That's why it's called the Hall of Fame. Not, to me, it's a little bit too much pride in kind of making your point if you're one of the voters. So it's sad.
Honestly, when people say like the refs are making it about them, this is the voters making it about them.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And it's making it about it. I wish there was something to change, but you can't. But so that's kind of it and how sad it is.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.